Hi, friends. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It helps so much. It helps us get the word out. It helps the channel grow. Benny, where can they find us on social media?
Yeah, check us out. We're Ray Benny Sports. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Also, check us out on Reddit and Discord, and leave us a rating on your favorite podcast provider.
We got some CFL talk. We got some Winnipeg Jet talk, a little bit of NHL talk, but let's start off with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Big news, signing a huge chip less than 2 weeks after the Grey Cup. Willie Jefferson signed on for another year. What's the biggest takeaway that you get from this signing, man?
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm not surprised it got done so quick because both sides really wanted it. We were just waiting for Kyle Walters basically to sign. But biggest takeaway is just how much this guy loves Winnipeg. And he likes the culture that the Bombers have built. Like, listening to his press conference, he was nothing but selling the city, selling the CFL, and that he's learned a lot coming from where he started. He came here ready to leave here as soon as he got an NFL offer. Now he's like, I'm glad it never happened. I'm glad I stuck here and all that kind of stuff. So it's great to see he's an ambassador, not only for the Bombers, but also for the league and for young guys coming in. So yeah, my takeaway is that he just loves being here and he loves being in the CFL.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a huge asset from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Like, for his salary, he makes way more money for the team. It's crazy.
Yeah.
My biggest take is that they have the stick that stirs this team.
Yeah.
When you need a big play on defense, you can almost guarantee that Willie Jefferson is either going to make that play or he's going to create that play. Anytime you see him around it, either he's causing a disruption at the line, not even blocking it, getting his hands up, or he's getting a sack, or he's covering and he's getting an interception and bring it for a pick six. Anytime you need that big play, he's there. He's that leader also that breaks the huddle. When they come out, they warm up before they go back into the tunnel, go back to the dressing room. He breaks that huddle. When they come out after the intros, he breaks that huddle. So he's that leader, like James West was, like Jerron Bolden was, like Odell Whittless was with Swaggerville. I don't know, maybe who was before Willie Jefferson? Mo Leggett?
Yeah, Mo Leggett was pretty good for that kind of stuff.
So, yeah, he's that dude.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I just like a quote from Ed Tate. I was reading his article and he was talking about Willie Jefferson. It kind of leads to what you were kind of saying there. It's like, he goes, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers dominant defensive end has this aura about him, a warming energy that pulls you in like a tractor beam through his megawatt smile and his genuineness. I'm like, wow, yeah, that's basically Willie to a T right there, right? And he was even talking about what you were saying. He's like, you better block me. And you better put two guys on me. And if you're not going to, or if you're going to throw my way, I'm still going to knock that down, even if I'm being blocked, kind of thing. So, yeah, awesome to have him back.
And like you said, he mentioned about this thing that we've built, the organization and the players, not the fans when I say we've. And he's truly a piece of what they have built. There's guys who have been there longer and who are also like a vital part of the core, like Jake Thomas, Brandon Alexander, Pat Neufeld, Drew Wolotarski. But you're talking about, he was the next guy that put those guys to the next level.
Yeah.
You can see at camp when you sit in the stands that he is a leader from camp, encouraging young guys on. Like, there was a guy who I fell in love with because he was under Willie Jefferson's wing. He never made the team. I was totally wrong about that prediction, but I bought into Willie Jefferson and how he supported that young kid so much. Yeah. Like, that's the effect that he has on these guys. So, man, that's my big takeaway.
Well, 4 years here, 4 Grey Cup appearances, right? I mean, it all started, he kind of brought that stuff together, and he's a big player to have there because, yeah, he brings that team together. And even in this press conference, you just lost the Grey Cup a couple weeks ago, but he's still beaming. He's still that guy that he's always is. And, it seems like nothing can get him down, kind of thing. So, yeah, and it's a good first piece to have because guys will see it and he's like, okay, Willie's back in. I was close to retirement, but let's give it one more try, kind of thing. So hopefully more signings in the next little bit.
Or even guys who aren't about to retire and could test free agency. They see Willie staying and who knows what numbers that he's taking. But, he's probably part of that culture, contributing to the team in every which way. And they see that and they'll buy in. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and it sounds like he's staying here as long as the Bombers kind of want him. And he even kind of said himself, as long as I can still play and I'm still playing at a high level, I'm going to keep playing, right? So,
yeah,
Sounds like he'll be here for a long time as long as the Bombers keep wanting him back. I wish it was a 2-year deal at least, but these 1-year deals are pain in the butt.
It's the way of the CFL.
Yeah.
Do you think Brady Oliveira will dip his toes in the free agent waters?
Yes, I think so. Unless the Bombers knock his socks off, right? As far as like he had said, he wants to try the NFL. So that could be a bit before that even happens, right? You know, wait until January, February once the season kind of ends for NFL. So that could be a bit, and that could be after free agency even starts here because it starts what, second week of February usually. So
February 13th this year.
Yeah, unless the
agency.
Yeah,
February 13th.
Yeah, so unless the Bombers knock his socks off with a crazy deal, I could see him kind of looking around just to kind of see what he's probably worth out there.
Yeah, I think he knows what he's worth. He's seen his big bro Andrew Harris, and I think there's more benefits to him staying in Winnipeg. I don't think he'll even touch the free agent market at all. I think him staying at home. I think he's passionate about this team. You know, he talks about Milt. Yo, this is my favorite dude growing up, and being in that stadium that he's playing right now. I think he won't. I don't think he'll touch the market. We'll see.
Yeah, he's big in Winnipeg. Like he was at Sturgeon Heights Collegiate today for a rock paper scissors championship kind of thing. So he was there as well with other Bomber players. So he's doing stuff already around the community. Yeah, you know what? He could leave such a legacy behind here by sticking around here for his whole career, pretty much. And I get the NFL. If you can get to the NFL, sure, yeah, do it. But in the CFL, man, you got something good here, and you could be legendary status if you stick around here, right?
Absolutely. Close to home, and I'm sure like the side hustle and whatever gigs that there are, sponsorships, you know, they're available to him as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Of course, I'm being greedy as a Winnipeg fan.
Yeah, you just want him to stay.
For sure I do. I'm no fool. Scott Milanovich hiring in Hamilton, kind of expected. Is this the right move for Hamilton?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it kind of continuity a bit from last year, right? I know he was just there last year and just kind of took over the OC role halfway through. But the guy's got a lot of experience. He's proven winner so far in the CFL. He's good with QBs, which Hamilton's going to need right now, depending on what they do. If they keep Bo Levi, or if they go to Schultz or Powell, or even go after Drew Brown. But yeah, he's won a Grey Cup in the league, so he's got the experience. And it looks like they got a pretty good front office there with Ed Hervey as GM, and then Steinauer now in president of football operations only. So they kind of split up the roles a little bit, you know, so that maybe that'll help Steinauer because he was taking on too much, and it kind of showed on the field. So yeah, I think it's a good move.
Absolutely, it's a great move. You know, the next move is to release Bo Levi Mitchell. You know, so he can pull a Henry Burris, go to Ottawa, and take them to the Grey Cup. I doubt it. But I'd be shocked if he remains with the Ticats. You know, it already sounds like maybe him and Milanovich aren't the perfect pair. Yeah, he has a feel for the room. He has respect across the league. He's great with QBs, like you mentioned. Maybe he even helps to bring in 3 last names. Claude Bethel Thompson might come back to the league.
I keep forgetting that he had said he wanted to come back. So yeah, there's another option on the table for some teams.
Yeah, I think he'd be great with Scott Milanovich.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, he did say, Milanovich said they want to limit turnovers and all that stuff from the QB position, right? And Bo Levi was not good at that this year. So maybe, but you know, knowing Hamilton, I mean, they hung on to Dane Evans for as long as possible and then traded him, right? So I could see them doing that to Bo Levi as well. Hang on, wait for someone maybe to make an offer and make a trade instead of just releasing the guy straight out.
Yeah, this Ed Hervey days though.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Steinauer's still there though, so you never know.
I don't think Ed Hervey would take that job with like, yo, Steinauer, you can tell me yes and no on every one of my moves.
But was he there? Was he there at all last year or no? Or is he brand new? Ed Hervey? Yeah.
No, Ed Hervey was
no capacity last year. He was in Edmonton last, wasn't he?
Yes. No.
Was he not last year though, right?
The other receivers in Edmonton right now, G-Roy Simons.
Yeah, but he's OC, isn't he?
No, G-Roy Simon's in the front office.
Oh, right, assistant, right?
He's assistant GM.
Yeah.
Ed Hervey used to be in Edmonton, and then
did he go to BC after that?
Maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Google will help you one day.
One day.
Not right now. Where's a good landing spot for McLeod Bethel Thompson now we mentioned him, other than Hamilton? Ooh. Any thoughts? I don't know. You mentioned his name. Might as well talk about that dude.
Back to Ottawa. I mean, unless they're sticking with Crum or Mazzoli. Yeah, we're in the West, really. Just Calgary really has
Montreal
questions at quarterback.
locked in with Fajardo, and we'll talk about
Fajardo's
that in a
locked in,
second.
yeah.
Ain't no going to Toronto. So
It's
yeah,
got yeah,
Ottawa.
Ottawa or Hamilton, really. Yeah, but Ottawa's probably your best bet.
Shoot. Hey, there's a good segue. Talking about Ottawa, Tommy Condell just signed as the Red Blacks offensive coordinator. Good move. For me, it really depends on who they get at quarterback. He hasn't really won a Grey Cup as a coordinator.
Yeah.
Like he knows the game well, and with an experienced QB, maybe that'll get it done. Like he almost got it done in 2019 with who knows what quarterback at which time, who was hot and who was not, who was injured and who can go. But maybe with him and McLeod Bethel Thompson, that'd be a good combination. Like I
Yeah,
don't think Mazzoli is a combination that they want to. They already tried that. So maybe 3 last names are Drew Brown, but I don't think he can tutor under tutelage of a young quarterback. I don't think that's a good thing.
Dustin Crum. Yeah, it didn't look very good in Hamilton this year, right? But yeah, Condell had a little bit of success a few years ago with Mazzoli as his quarterback. Mazzoli sounds like he's still coming back. I don't know how that's going to work out because the guy hasn't been able to stay healthy. But yeah, this hiring doesn't move the needle for me at all, and I'm like kind of disappointed in Ottawa for making this hire just because he was not good the last couple of years, right? In Hamilton, that offense was pretty stagnant, and he just got fired halfway through a season, so. Should have been another option out there. I don't know, but we talked about this. The CFL likes their retreads, right? They like to bring guys back and guys that haven't even had success, which doesn't make sense to me here.
That was an interesting one. Well, retreads. Mark Mueller is not a retread. He's going to be the offensive coordinator in Saskatchewan. Corey Mace is going to be the head coach and keeping the DC tag on himself. Thoughts on that? Is that a good move?
I don't mind him being this DC, but when you're hiring a brand new guy, basically at OC, so Mueller was the OC for a bit in Calgary last year. Is that correct? It sounds like what I was reading today, and then he lost the duty halfway through the season when things weren't going well. So I know the guy's been around for 10 years or whatever as an offensive coach in certain capacities, but you're bringing in a brand new OC basically. And I know Trevor Harris is there, so that might help. Because you got a veteran guy there, but this is kind of risky for me because he's a brand new guy. Mace is a brand new head coach. That's a lot to put on your plate. You don't really have a veteran guy there to bounce stuff off with, or just leave the offense to him and you don't have to worry about it, right? So bit of a risky move. We'll see how this works out, but I don't necessarily like it right off the bat.
Yeah, does this have to do with like the coaching cap that he's bringing so many first-time coordinators? Like, because that is a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
To be in the defensive room and still have to worry about the offensive responsibilities, unless he completely trusts Bueller in regards to game planning, and which he might, and then you might learn that that's not a good idea. Like, either that or he bring a defensive coordinator who knows his system, like Kevin Iben.
Yeah,
unless Kevin Iben's been giving the job in Toronto.
Yeah, that's the thing. At least you get help on DC job, and then you can actually focus on everything, kind of thing. But yeah, if Mueller was the OC for a bit in Calgary last year, and then he lost the job, there was Dickinson there to take over. If it doesn't work for Mueller in Saskatchewan this year, who's taking over at that point, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to. Mace is not going to. So you're gonna have to find someone else from within there. So hopefully, some other good hires along there, that offensive side of the ball to help this guy out.
Yeah, because like you look at O'Shea, he never had his special teams coordinator position anytime. And just because he concentrated on being a coach and building those relationships and being that kind of leader. So, yeah.
Was Lapo the OC when O'Shea first started? Or did he come? He came in after, right? Who was the OC when O'Shea first started?
I can't remember. That's a good question.
And who was the DC? It wasn't Richie Hall, right? Or was it?
That's another good question.
Because I'm trying to think what he did when he first started, and if he had some guys with some experience taking over those roles or whatever, right? So
yeah, I'm pretty sure Richie Hall has always been here.
Yeah, I feel like he has actually. The OC had to have changed though, because Olapo was still in Saskatchewan around 2013 or whatever, wasn't he? Because 2013 was the year that the no.
Why are we struggling when we have Google?
Oh my god! Okay.
But yeah, I think it absolutely helped Mike O'Shea's development. But who knows? Yeah. Even with a young OC, they have Trevor Harris. That's a very experienced CFL quarterback who's seen a lot in a lot of situations and has won.
Yes.
So
that's what I said. That's the only positive thing that I could see there. if they're keeping Harris, which it sounds like they are, at least
for
you
sure
got a
they
guy
are.
with
Yeah.
plenty of experience that that can help him out, right? So
Yeah, lots of action going on. Al's sign Fajardo and Lemon. Who do you think's their next big chip that they need to sign to repeat that Grey Cup, or at least be a contender?
man, I was looking at their free agency list. Doesn't look too bad for them. Depends on Sankey. If I would say he's probably one of the top guys there, but it sounds like he may end up going the same route as last year, maybe XFL, USFL, whatever it's called now, play there for a bit, and then come back. Looking at it, all the running backs are free agents, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. There's 2 starting guards were free agents. For me, I'd probably go linebacker and Tyrese Beverett. If you can get him re-signed, that'll definitely help, keep that defense intact. But yeah, they don't have a lot of holes to fill, really.
Yeah, Beverett was really good. He was even better with Sankey.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
his sack
Pressure was off,
output
right?
doubled
Yeah.
from like 2 to 5 sacks. So yeah, they're a good combination together. Logistically, you talked about running backs. I think they should really prioritize signing Jeshurun Antwi. He's a
Yeah.
good Canadian back that could be a ratio breaker. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Andrew Harris or as good as Brady Oliveira is right now, but he's on that trajectory where his per carry average is almost 6. And every time he touches, and he's a great receiving back as well. So I think they should really look at making sure he's on the roster and they don't lose that guy, because I
Yeah.
don't think Stanback will be there for much longer. And I heard they were talking to Stanback earlier. So maybe they were like, dude, you mind taking a little less money so we can keep this Canadian kid because he's the next one? I wouldn't be surprised if Michocha said that to him.
Yeah. Yeah, you almost got to, because you got to keep those young Canadians in the fold. So yeah, that would be a good move for them for sure. And Sandbeck, he was fine this year, but nothing, nothing to break the budget for or anything like that. And there's so many running backs all over the place, right? So
yeah, he looked great in the Grey Cup.
he did.
Good.
Yeah, a couple good plays, but yeah, even still talking about that Grey Cup. I thought we moved on.
Emotionally, I've moved on. That's why I can talk about it. It's all good. It doesn't hurt. I'd rather talk about this Grey Cup even more than the Toronto Grey Cup.
Oh, jeez.
And I'd still rather talk about the Toronto Grey Cup than the 2001 Grey Cup. Remember unfinished business the next year?
Oh, good. Please don't do that.
2002, they had a great tackle that they brought in, Garrick Jones. And he is heading an initiative for a player ownership group in the CFL.
Wow, yeah.
So I think we should talk to that dude one day.
Yeah, we should. That'd be a good idea. That'd
Maybe
be interesting. A players ownership group, eh?
Because they know the game.
Yeah.
They've been out in the community. They know the fans. Shoot. Garrick Jones. Stay tuned. Let's move on to some Winnipeg Jets talk, brought to you by Fahrenheit Airbrushing. Stand out on the ice, pavement, or the field with a custom airbrushed helmet or a goalie mask. A local Manitoba business with affordable solutions for any project. Check out Fahrenheit Airbrushing on Facebook or call them at 204-891-7431. Tell them Ray and Benny sent you. I don't know how long I've been doing that ad for, but this week is the first week I've noticed that I've memorized that phone number.
No, that's pretty good. I don't memorize it.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, but it's hard to memorize phone numbers anymore, man. I don't memorize anybody's number anymore.
But I must have said it about 20 times by now.
Yeah. See, but you know what? You just said it again to me. Like, you've said it every time, and I'm here. I can't even recite it back to you.
204.
Yeah.
891.
Okay.
7431.
Yeah. Ask me later if I remember that.
Fahrenheit Airbrushing. Check them out on Facebook. Tell them Ray and Benny sent you. Quick and dirty. Let's go over the Carolina game review. What are your thoughts on that game?
Woo. Thank God for Laurent Boissoit playing his best game of the season, right? The Jets are outshot basically 2-1 almost in that game, but he stepped up. Even the one goal that got in went off of DeMello. So great game by him. They were terrible defensively, gave up a lot of golden opportunities. And they managed to cash in on a few of their chances. A nice goal by Ehlers to basically get the winner, 2-0 goal. Nice play from Scheifele Connor and setting up Ehlers in the right spot. So not the greatest of games for the Jets, but they got away with one and they took the 2 points.
Yeah, Jets look good. Broswell looked amazing. And Carolina, as usual this season, had issues putting the puck in the net. The Jets are undefeated, by the way, against the East.
That's pretty good. Wow.
7-0-1.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
Shoo! shoot. Nick Ehlers is making me eat my words, and I love it. I have no problem being wrong with that because, first of all, I'm not an analyst. I'm a fan, and I want this guy to do good. Historically, I've never bought into Ehlers as a full-time first-line forward. And sorry to be negative Nelly, but I still don't think, you know, we're going to go through a couple painstaking droughts, I think, through the season still with him. But at the same time, we're hearing about Scheifele starting to be a leader on that team. So you mentioned it last week. Well, this great article that was written by Murata Tesh about him tutoring Perfetti.
Yeah.
So keep proving me wrong, little. Sorry, no, it's not a good nickname. I was supposed to call him Little Nicky. That's not bad. You remember that movie with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, I remember that movie. Yeah.
Hell yeah. He's
It's
a
funny,
devil of a player.
It's funny because we were kind of ragging on him the last
Son
episode
of a
about
gun.
playing on that top line and everything, and then he puts in a beauty, and he's played well on that top line and kind of fit in. And again, he's always seemed snake bit, right? Like where he's got great opportunities, the puck just doesn't go in the net for him. But we've seen a couple goals from him this year, like that game and the goal against Florida. And it's like the guy's got great mitts, right? It just doesn't always work out for him when he's attempting shots on net. So
Starting to buy in.
But
Starting to buy in. You want to check in on the Colorado game? Do we have a score on that one?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Ehlers and Connor, it's 2-1 Jets. It was 2-0. And the second goal was scored by Kyle Connor, assisted by Nikolai Ehlers. So
hey, who scored that Colorado one?
McKinnon, I believe.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Nathan McKinnon. So Adam Lowry with the first one for the Jets. 50 of the year, so
beauty. The
pretty
one
good.
thing about that first line that when I got to watch the game is they're starting to make these blind passes because they know where dudes are going to be.
Yeah,
like Scheifele was all the way on the far boards on TV, or the far boards that way on the TV, and Connor was coming off the near boards, and he hit him with a puck just before the faceoff. It was crazy, and he didn't really look at him.
No
shoulder check, and then it's there. Like that's one of the things. It's like, well, they're really clicking.
And that's one of the reasons why you want to keep those guys together. Like Scheifele's been way better defensively this year, way better. Connor still has ways to go sometimes on that, but they know where each other are going to be. So as frustrating as they can be sometimes defensively, offensively, man, having those two together, it's almost hard to break them up. It was like when it was what was it, Scheifele, Wheeler, and Connor, or was it, or who the heck was that always that third guy? I think it was Connor. Yeah, you always kept putting them back together all the time, right?
Oh yeah.
Even though they weren't good defensively, but they got goals, they got points. So we're kind of there too. And only 13 shots against. Like Colorado's only had 13 shots in half a game so far. So way better defensively so far than they were the other night against Carolina.
Heck yeah. Shoot. Do the lowly Ducks stand a chance against the Winnipeg Jets? Yes, no, why? Why not? Oh man. Of course. You know, they just came out beating Colorado off a back-to-back. Well, Colorado had the Kings in the middle, I think, but it was a back-to-back for the Ducks, and they beat them in a shootout, and they lost by 1 in the second game. Also, keep in mind that Makar was not playing in both of, well, he got hurt in the first game, and he didn't play in the second game. But man, they were on an 8-game losing streak before that.
Yeah, 1-9 in their last 10.
Good. But I do want to watch that kid, that second overall pick behind Bedard, that Leo Carlson.
Yeah.
Second, man, if he was playing every game, like he's on load management right now, like NBA load management until he's ready for it. But if he was on pace to play the whole season, he'd had 62 points and ended up with 38 goals. Yeah, that's a pretty good rookie year, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him, but I don't think they're going to beat the Jets.
Yeah, he's on rookie management, I guess, eh? Yeah, Anaheim's got some good young guys with Zegras and all that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, 1-9 in the last 10 after starting a freaking amazing, right? Because they were like top of the standings almost, or close up top 3 at least, anyways, not past Vegas, I guess. But yeah, close games against Colorado. So yeah, there's a chance. Their power play is actually better than the Jets. Their penalty killing is better than the Jets, but they don't score very much. Only 2.7 goals per game. So the Jets got them there, and then they give up way too many goals. So great opportunity for the Jets. The only problem is it could be a letdown game for the Jets after playing Colorado tonight. And depending on what happens in this game, it's always a battle with Colorado. But luckily they don't play till Sunday, so they got a few days to kind of recover. But yeah, Jets should beat them handily or easily, or win the game at least. But yeah, you never know. And it's West Coast. Jets in the West Coast. But it's early, I think, right? I don't think it's a late one.
West Coast? I don't know. Do you think it's just a Jets thing predominantly, or is it a general sports thing where a team is just plays down to the level of their opponent when they're bad? Because uh, they just seem to do that, or just because we're fans and we just notice it more? Do you think?
Yeah, probably because we follow them more. I've noticed this year they haven't as much. Like they beat Chicago
Yes,
and
that's what I
all
was
that
going
kind
with
of
this.
stuff. But so they haven't been that bad this year. But past years, it was like, holy crap, they'd come off a big win against the best team in the league and then play like San Jose, who's terrible, and lose. And it's like, what the heck? You
Yeah,
know, like, so yeah.
like Nashville is understandable. They're not as good, but they're still divisional. They're gonna come at you hard.
It's
So,
Soros, right? UC Soros makes a big
oh
difference. So
man, that guy just kicked the Jets' ass. Nino Niederreiter signed a new contract, 3 for 4. Is that contract Jets friendly? Yeah, absolutely. It's
yeah.
like steady veteran presence who can play up and down that line. And going down 2, 3 years, it's friendly with guys coming up who are young. So yeah, I think it's friendly.
Yeah, and the Athletic had a market value calculation for him, and their estimate was 6.7 million. I don't know if that was a contract or just kind of what he's worth, right? In general. So he'll be 34 when the deal's done. So still pretty young. I know he's a big guy and he plays hard every night. So we'll see, but I think he'll still be fine at that age. The guy's got 14 points in 23 games so far this year, and he's not
Yeah.
even playing top line minutes, right? He's been on that third line, and I know they've been dynamic at times. So but
Hell
the guy
yeah.
he's always consistent. He's one of the few guys where you watch games and it's like he never takes a game off. You know, like he's always giving her, he's consistent, his presence on the ice, he's a big guy. So yeah, good signing, another good signing for the Jets. And it's kind of pushes this, hey, nobody wants to sign in Winnipeg kind of thing, right? And I
Yeah.
know right off the bat, it's probably hard to get free agents, but once you guys got guys in the building, you can easily sell them on this stuff because they do get treated very well by Chipman and the Jets and True North and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
good to have him back.
He's a solid veteran.
Yeah.
And the grit that he plays with is just leads by his play,
Yeah.
not by his words. Uh Teams are apparently interested in Logan Stanley. Should the Jets look to trade a D-man?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if someone's offering you something good for Stanley, I would take it at this point. They got a logjam going on there, right? With Chisholm, and then you also got Schmidt that you're not playing. Billy Hanel has kind of started skating, so who knows when he's going to be ready to come back into it. But yeah, if you can move one of these guys, I would definitely take a look at it. There's no point in having this many guys, and if you can get even a younger defenseman that you can throw down to the Moose and let him develop a little bit, or a depth forward, because even with Kapari out, now you got I'll never say his name right. Axel Johnson Fialbi. Yeah, you got him in the lineup, which I don't know. He always plays hard. But I would like to see maybe a younger guy kind of get in there and develop a little bit.
Do you think he's in the lineup to show him off for a possible trade?
Stanley?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's back in there tonight, I believe, against Colorado. So he's played the last couple games, right? Because last game
Chisholm's
they
been
went.
playing good.
Yeah. Well, last game they had 11 forwards, 7D, but I believe they went back to 12-6 here. So
Yeah.
but I mean, if you can get a good deal for him, why not? It's time to let him go play, see if he can sit or play somewhat regularly, right? It
Okay,
might help
like
him too.
you gotta explain to me though, what is a good deal?
Yeah.
Because really, what value are you gonna get for this? What are you thinking about good deal when you say good deal? What are you thinking? A third rounder?
Yeah. I mean, if you can get a third for sure, you're not getting probably anything higher than that. If you can get a young defenseman, a bit younger than Stanley, that can go play for the Moose and see what he can kind of develop into, or if you get a younger forward, kind of thing, or even a bit older forward to get a little bit more depth and experience on there. I don't know, just something, right? But
Yeah.
draft pick's
Yeah.
probably the best.
They're not gonna get much for that dude.
No.
Like, what's the benefit of keeping him right now? Because he has one more RFA year, and then you can see if you can move him. And if he gets better this year, then and he doesn't have arbitration, I don't think, going into the next one either.
No,
So
I don't think so.
is it you might as well keep him, see if he gets better this year, and then you get to RFA him again next year. And then
Yeah,
if he's not good, then trade his ass.
yeah.
But
I mean,
for this season, how does that benefit?
don't give him up for nothing, right? It also a team would have to all kind of overpay or be desperate for you to even move him. Really, I would think, right? Because like you're saying,
Yeah.
there's no benefit to them right now because you never know injuries could happen, right? But what are you going to do when Hanel is back? You're throwing him back down to the Moose. I mean, he was ready to play for the Jets this year and probably would have made the team if he didn't get hurt like that. So,
Well, he needs a conditioning stint. He
oh,
needs
he
some
does for
time.
sure. Yeah, I mean, he's probably
sure.
not, I mean, he's what did Bonus say? He's still a ways away
A
anyways,
long
right?
ways away. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he might not be good until February, like condition wise, than everything, right? Or late
Okay.
January. So
If they trade Stanley, does he lose the RFA status going to next year? That's still valid, right?
yeah, I think it's all still valid. Yeah, for
So
sure.
even that's also very attractive to another team.
Yeah,
So that
yeah,
might
for
increase
sure.
his value.
Yeah, you got to find a team that loves his size and somewhat grittiness that he puts out every once in a while. He just doesn't do it all the time, right? He's a big guy. He's just not that tough guy every time.
He blocks shots.
Yeah, it does.
The
A
log.
lot of people
Yeah.
hate the block shots kind of thing because that means you don't have the puck. So,
Yeah. We'll see.
but a lot of people love NHL guys or coaches or front office love the block shots. So analytics guys don't. Front office guys do.
Analytics guys don't like the block shots. Why
No, because
not?
that means they don't have the puck. So that means the other team has the puck, and that's why they're ending up blocking the shot. They would rather Stanley has the puck or gets the puck back, kind of thing. So
Yeah, but
as
while
far as
the other team has a puck and they take a shot, wouldn't you rather him block the shot?
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand enough of it. We'd have to get someone to explain that to us, or we'd have to read a little bit more. But
I can't
don't
do
understand enough of it,
analytics.
so.
No. So then talking about value for players, let's talk about Schmidt, who's been sitting for a while. What's his contract at? 6.6?
He's got 2 years left. I have it up here
At 6.6?
No,
he's making less than
5.9. So
okay, well, so you think they'll get anything for him?
yeah, he's got a year and a half left.
You think he's the move to just keep around and let Stanley? I don't know, man.
If you can, ideally, if you can trade Schmidt instead of Stanley, I would go for that.
Yeah,
but because of that contract and one more year of it at almost $6 million, you got some guys you're going to need to sign here soon, right?
Yeah.
And then you also got DeMello. There's DeMello and Dylan that are both free agents, right? You ideally probably want to keep at least one of those guys. You don't want to lose both of those guys.
Gotta keep Dylan. Gotta keep Dylan. I love that dude, man. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, I like DeMello too, though. So yeah, if you're paying Schmidt $6 million, you're probably not keeping one of those guys, right?
When are they up for free agency?
This year.
Oh,
like this is their last year. So
well, you might have to trade him and then swallow like half.
Yeah, that's the thing. You might have to eat some of that, or you're buying him out at the end of the season, right? There's no way he's sticking around. You have to either you find a trade partner or you're buying him out at the end of this year.
Absolutely, absolutely. International tourney. The idea has been bounced around with 4 teams: Canada, U.S., Sweden, Finland.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Oh, God. I think
it's a gong show.
Yeah.
Like, are they? And it's an idea to establish to lead up to the road to maybe playing the Olympics. How the international hockey has not secured a World Cup kind of event in all these years is beyond me. How they let the Canada Cup die and then grow off of that is absolutely stupid. And now they're starting at ground zero with NHL, who might not be participants even in the Olympics, with a 4-team tournament in the middle of the season. Stupid.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's not an international tournament unless you got all the teams in there. I know some of the teams aren't going to be as good as these ones, but you need to have more than in there. Do a World Cup, do a whatever. Secure the Olympics. Even it's funny because a lot of these younger guys, McDavid, you haven't seen them in any type of tournament like that. Besides that, it was the World Cup where they were on the young stars, so you haven't even seen him play for Canada since World Juniors, basically, right? I don't think he's done any of the World Championships or anything like that. So yeah, it's kind of terrible that you haven't been able to see these guys at that level, and you're not growing the NHL around the world by not having these guys out there. So yeah,
the model is there with the World Juniors.
Yeah,
like have it in Canada every second year, have a lot of them in the northern US market, and go to Europe where they're hockey crazy and they'll show up for it. How hard is that?
Not hard at all. But it's Gary Bettman in the NHL. Probably looking to cash in every which way. And then they're having a draft at that Sphere in Vegas next year, which is going to cost them a ton of money just to be held there. So I don't know
the priorities. What, man? They're going to put a team in Alabama before they figure out how to do a World Cup. These idiots. I'm not lying to you. You're laughing because it's true. Benny, you have anything to say to our friends?
Yeah, before I sign off, it's now 3-1 Winnipeg. Josh Morrissey with a goal. And speaking of, Nino Niederreiter got an assist on there as well. So
there we go. Look at that.
3-1 late in the second.
Winnipeg Jets. Is that what you got to say to our friends?
Well, no, and then I'm going to say, you know what? Hey, thanks a lot for listening. Don't forget, subscribe, follow, check out our social medias, and have a good week.
Man, that was a good episode. Yo, check out our Instagram. We got a clip that went to 4 million views. Check out our TikTok. It's crazy. Give us some ideas of what to post, because sometimes my mind gets dry and I forget shit.
Yeah, and we've got some exciting interviews coming up in the next couple of weeks too.
Should we tell them who now?
No, let's surprise it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Should we from what sport? In the famous words of Muhammad Ali, it isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out. It's the pebble in your shoe. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.